Pathfinder is a 4-player game. Teams of 2 split up to begin the game, 1 member of each team on each board. And what they would do, this group of people would be writing out words, a 5x5 grid of them, and they need to fill that with words. While that's happening in secret, there would be a game of kind of like tic-tac-toe going on. We're trying to create as many paths as we can from one side of the board to the other. So this counts as a path, and so does this. So the game might start, I'd put my piece down. We have 8 pieces each, and we have to place all of them before the game can start. So Tim would then have his shot. I would keep going. And since I got to go first, Tim gets to put his 8th piece down, but then he also gets to place a bomb anywhere he likes on the board. Choosing the bomb is like sinking the 8-ball in pool. You don't want to do it, and it ends your game if you do. So now we can see that Tim's created a path across here, a path across here, and even a path all the way over there. Yellow's got one going here, got one going there, and one going there. So we've both got the same amount of paths. Now this is important because this represents the words that are part of your team's selection. So if we transfer this across over top of the grid, you can see yellow's got words like police, space, cloud, hole, poison, light, table, hose. And blue's got log, fire, eat, friend, dog, plants, hill, and notice. This is important. We'd keep this secret. We'd either take a photo of it, we'd either write it on a piece of paper, or we'd play the game on the thinksquare.com.au/games website so that we can have it folded up in a laptop so we can see it, but our partners who are going to guess these words can't. Once we've done that, so let's just remove this, pretend it's off the game board altogether, and so you can still see it for the benefit of you, but the people, our teammates, can't see this when they're guessing. So now what we need to do is try to get our teammates to guess so that they can complete a path from one side or the other, or guess 7 of your 8 tiles before the other team does. So you can win in 2 ways, getting a path across or guessing 7 of the 8. You need to make sure you don't guess this one, so giving clues that might relate to that eyes would be no good, because then you could lose the game in one shot. So for example, clues can be given, they can only be given in one word. For example, I've seen this, and I can relate those two by saying murder, 2. If I say this, the clue murder relates to 2 words in that grid. My partner has to look through all these, and as they're looking through, they talk, because it might help me if they are thinking down a completely different path. Then, you know, they might think fire, or that could go with murder. But I'm sure they'd probably think police, and poison would be murder. So they might guess those 2. And if they did, that would be good, because they've guessed 2 things on the yellow team's path, and I'm the yellow team. And now Tim would go, and he might look at his set of things. Remember, they go down here, and he might see some things that relate together. You can say it relates to 2 or to 1 or to even 3 things if you really think you've got a good clue. So Tim would give a clue to his teammate.
Trees.
3. Trees. So the person might think, oh, trees are plants. Trees, you get logs out of trees. You light trees on fire. Rubbish, light, table. You make a table out of trees. So let's imagine they guessed plants, because plants is the obvious one, and that is part of their path. And then maybe for some reason they guessed table instead of log, which seemed to be a more obvious one. If they guess table, that actually reveals one of yellow's paths. And so that's actually a bad turn for their team, because they've given us one as well as getting one themselves. But the person, his teammate, knows now that there's still another tree thing out there, some clue that relates to trees. So they probably think, oh, definitely log's one of them next time. So if they guess table first, their guess ends there, because they've guessed one of ours, and then we get to have our guesses again. So again, I'm looking at this thinking, where do they go? Okay, so I've got space and cloud might relate together, so I might go, I might say sky.
2.
And then sky, someone could relate space with sky and cloud and they'd get that. Then Tim would have his go. His partner would know that log's already one that's there. So Tim would say another word.
People. 2.
People. All right, he said people. So I think friend seems like it's reasonable clue for people. Dog's best friend is a person. What else have we got here that relates to people? People smile, people have eyes. And so maybe they'd guess friend first. So they got friend and then they might guess eyes. And if they guessed eyes, that's game over because that was the 8 ball. And that would end the game, yellow would win. But let's imagine they didn't guess eyes. Let's say they guessed smile instead. Smile belongs to nobody, so their turn would end, but they wouldn't score anything, and neither would we from that. Yellow now really needs their teammate to guess hose to win, because that's created a path from one side to the other. So because hose is one of theirs, they would give a clue like watering, 1. So watering relates to one of their things. So look through all this and they'd say, oh, hose, it must be hose. And that would be game over if yellow did guess that. So that's one way to win. If they guessed something here, they would need to guess one more to get 7 out of their 8 tiles. So you don't have to create a path across. You can just guess 7 of your 8 tiles to win.